What is going on, everybody? Malcolm back again from Majestic Skies Gaming. And as you can see in front of me here, we are comparing the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. And in this video, I'm going to be kind of explaining to you guys which system will be right for you if you're planning on purchasing one of these going into 2024. So while these both have a very similar form factor, they're actually, in my opinion, designed for quite different customers. So there is definitely going to be a better option depending on your use case. We'll first go over the pros of the Steam Deck. So right off the bat, I'm going to say the Steam Deck has the best build quality. It's the same on the OLED and the LCD model. The only real change is with the battery life on the OLED and of course the screen quality. So really the feels of the buttons on the Steam Deck are really nice. You can tell Valve has put a lot of care into making this system feel really good in your hands and feel like a premium product. And definitely you can tell some corners have been cut on the ROG Ally to be able to get the better specs out of it. So build quality, definitely going to the Steam Deck. Battery life is also better, even on the LCD model, and it is a better price. So value-wise and battery life, form factor, I'm going to give it to the Steam Deck. Now it is larger though, so to be honest, if you're planning on taking this thing on trains or planes, it can be done, but it's a large system. When you get your hands on this, you can tell like this is a large system. And using the touchscreen also is very impractical on the Steam Deck. You're going to have to use one hand like this. Like trying to do it like this is, and I have pretty big hands, is pretty difficult. Whereas with the ROG Ally, it's a little bit of a better form factor for that. So those are kind of all the advantages of the Steam Deck. We'll now move on to the ROG Ally and kind of explain what the advantages are of it. So moving right up to the ROG Ally, you got a 1080p screen versus the 720p screen on the Steam Deck. So you are going to be getting a much sharper image if you're wanting to use the handheld as it is. It's also IPS, which will also give you better colors and better viewing angles compared with the Steam Deck. Other than that, it's also a lot lighter than the Steam Deck. So, you know, despite the slightly cheaper feeling buttons, it doesn't feel that cheap. Still feels good in the hand, still feels like a nice product, but doesn't have that same sort of premium feel as the Steam Deck. But the advantage of that is it is a lot lighter. I would say the ROG Ally is about 30% lighter. I haven't weighed the two of them, but I can tell you right now, just feeling the weight difference, probably about 30% lighter. You do have a lot better hardware in this ROG Ally as well, so you're going to be able to run the games in 1080p, no problem. Obviously, it's going to depend how modern the game, how high you have the settings turned up, and whether you're plugged into power. So I'm not going to lie, if you're using this on the go, if you're not plugged into a power bank or to the wall, you're going to be getting pretty comparable performance to the Steam Deck with the Ally. So keep that in mind. If you're planning on basically just kind of exclusively using your system on the go, you're not really going to see a big performance difference there. Really with both of these, unless you have the OLED model of the Steam Deck, you're going to want a power bank, because my testing both of these, you're looking at approximately an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours gaming on the go. It is just kind of what it is right now. If you want the best battery life, like I said, Steam Deck OLED is going to blow these two out of the water. Other than that, sound quality, that's definitely a win for the ROG Ally. So the sound, I honestly didn't think it would be that much better, but the speakers on the Steam Deck, when you crank them up, they just don't really have the same punch as the ROG Ally. With the ROG Ally, you get a lot more volume, a lot more presence to the audio, and definitely would have no issues using that on here, whereas on this I'm going to want headphones at all times basically, unless I'm just quietly playing in bed or something. But either way, sound quality is definitely better on the Ally. Connectivity wise, you're pretty much looking at the same. You can hook up an external GPU to this system with ASUS's product, but keep in mind that's a very expensive product. You're probably going to be better off just buying a gaming laptop for a heck of a lot less, so keep that in mind. So Now, kind of going over all the positives and negatives of both of these systems, I'll kind of explain who I think each system is better for. Obviously, one thing I didn't mention is this is running Windows 11, whereas this is running Linux. So that also makes a pretty big difference to the usability of these products. So right away, if you're wanting an all-in-one system that does everything, I'm going to give it to the ROG Ally. Because like I said, it runs on Windows 11, so you can actually use this as a laptop and you can do some productivity with it. You can video edit, you can photo edit, you can use Premiere, Photoshop. All these software suites are just going to work out of the box. So you're not going to have as much of an issue using that. Obviously, using it as a laptop, you're going to need an external monitor, keyboard, but I've basically gotten it kitted out already with both for pretty cheap, so it's not going to be a significant investment to do. You're looking at probably $100 to $200 to turn the Ally into a gaming laptop. So definitely an advantage there. You can do all those same things with the Steam Deck, but you're going to be in the Linux infrastructure. You do have less performance, so trying to do 4K video editing on the Steam Deck is probably going to be a more headache than it's worth. The ROG Ally, though, had no issues handling 4K video editing. It did struggle a little bit when I imported some 5.3K 60 frame per second footage, but that's really high-end footage. It's difficult for any computer to edit that, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, if you're wanting an all-in-one system, the ROG Ally is really nice, really hard not to recommend. I mean, it does it all in the palm of your hands, and it's very customizable. The Steam Deck is really, if you're just wanting a standalone gaming machine on the go, and you're wanting better battery life, you're wanting better build quality. I mean, like I said, the build quality, this blows the Ally out of the water. I would recommend the Steam Deck. And I do think the Steam Deck is probably going to be a longer lasting system. We'll see. Hopefully ASUS does support this quite well, but it's always how it kind of is with the new tech item. In 4 to 5 years, they kind of get the cold shoulder, and I think the Steam Deck is probably going to be a little bit more supported by Valve versus the ROG Ally. The other thing is, if you do want to get the ROG Ally, get the Z1 Extreme model, because the non-Extreme model, it just doesn't really have the same performance. And in my opinion, you might as well get the Steam Deck, save a lot of money compared to getting the Ally. So I hope that kind of explains it there. So this is kind of your system. If you're wanting a do-it-all system, you're planning on using it for a little bit of productivity and gaming, you're going to be really happy with the ROG Ally. Whereas if you're wanting kind of just a gaming system, you're wanting better build quality, and you want to save some money, the LCD model of the Steam Deck is really solid still. You're going to be really happy with it, as long as you're not playing, really new AAA games, trying to play them in high settings, or use them on the TV. Because keep in mind, while this is a 720p screen, if you output to a TV, you can put it all the way up to 4K, and it's not going to be able to handle it. It's basically not even going to be able to handle 1080p on the big screen. So keep that in mind. This is really not the greatest when you're actually hooking it up to a big screen TV, whereas the ROG Ally on a dock, like you can see here, this cheap little dock, you're going to be getting better performance because you're plugged in, and it's going to be able to handle your games in 1080p, no problem. Alright, well that's pretty much it. I do thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, do make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. My next video, I'm actually going to be showing the ROG Ally all kitted out as a gaming laptop to show you the potential of this system. Because, it can do a lot more than gaming, and I think that's really the main advantage of the Ally compared with the Steam Deck. Steam Deck, while you can do all those things, it's just not really an all-in-one system. It's really a gaming system, which does great at gaming, but doesn't have quite the same hardware as the ROG Ally to do it all. So thanks again for watching, and take care.